Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I'm Piglet here. We are back for, once again, via the Maxi Toys, and welcome back to more Let's Play of Super Smash Bros. Brawl Subspace Emissary Mode. So last time we actually did manage to tackle through those two levels, mainly the Ruins and also the Wilds. And today for this episode, we're about to continue on and move it on into the next level in this game. And now we see a form of the Ruined Hall. So, there's nothing else you can do in the next level, which is this level. So, because of that, though, we actually encountered the second encounter for this little... You know the boss we already fought from before? I think we'll have to fight him again, but this time with these small arenas. So, there's no actual level or anything like that. It's just another boss fight. So, that's how it explains how this usually happens. So now we're going to be fighting against with Galleom for a second time, but this time with the form of different players, which are Pokemon Trainer and Lucas. So that's how those two ended up down here. So yeah, let's talk about Charizard's moveset, and I did not meant to use the down B attack on purpose, mainly due to the fact that I was so used to playing Smash Bros. 4 at this point. But even then, that's how it usually gets at this point. So yeah, how it works with Charizard in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, that down B is essentially the exact same thing for Squirtle and Ivysaur, even though that will talk onto his proper moveset. While using press the just B attack, he can actually perform himself the Flamethrower, while to simply press the B button. And if you do a side special attack, he can perform himself a Rock Smash, which I think looks devastating for the looks of it when you try to kick the lucks out of the Galleom's health bar, as you can see. And finally, the up special attack performs himself a Fly ability, which can help you through actually recovering for your Bottomless Pit recovery onage. So, yeah, there's not much to say about this boss fight. It's exactly the same thing as before, so, you know. And another Subspace hole was actually created, and as a result, Wario Trophy was about to be absorbing it. So, we only got 2 stickers in this level, such as Yellow Pigment and the Gold Dewey from Kirby Mouse Attack. So, that's all there is to say about this level, honestly. This level is by far the shortest level in the entire game, because, you know, you have to deal with the rematch against with the Galleom again. Okay, so now with the next level we're about to be run into is the Wilds again. Okay, that's a little bit odd there. Although, soon to say, Piglet, is that we haven't gone to the Mario and the main 4 since the cave level. So, it has been a while since we've actually been playing for these 5 characters since, again, the cave level. So, we'll get to Pit one day or another. So, anyway, so the Wilds looks exactly almost identical name as it does it for the previous version of the Wilds, but except the fact that, for one, the color looks a little bit too gloomy for the looks of it on this standpoint, as opposed to the bright, colorful, vibrant version for when you deal with the first Wilds level for the 3 Swordsman players. So like, you know, Marvin, Ike, and Meta Knight. That's all there is to say. So Yeah, for this level, it's almost like a mishmash between almost in every single previous levels we've already been into, but except the fact that, well, it takes place in a Wild Western theme. So, notice usually it doesn't have cactus or anything like that. It's just the main canyon level. So, that's all there is to say about this here. So, strangely enough, though, is that it heavily borrows exactly the same music as what is playing on the lake shore somehow. So, once again, we got ourselves a mice trophy right there, because I found this the easiest way, the easiest enemy to catch with the trophy stand, I should say. Oh, there's a trophy right there. Oh, no, I don't think we can actually get it, I don't think. Nope, it's too late. I completely forgot that Bottomless Pit was down there, so I really do apologize, that was probably my fault for that part, so, oh well. But I do remember that one time back in 2012 that when we get to the end point of this level, although we're not going to talk about anything about it just yet until we actually get to that point. But even then though, first things first is that once again we have to take care of these enemies first. Oh god, these little fish looking eyeball things gonna kick our butt any moment. But, oh well, as long as we actually trying to actually keep up with you know, teammates and stuff like that. Most accurately, Link we're about to be playing as, even though that, for some reason, that arm mice might be kicking my butt any moment. So, for the most part though, this level's not that bad though, but except there's only one gripe I have with this level though, is that as soon as you get to the end point of the level, although before you actually get into this, there's also another secret door which can be located while solving for this elevator puzzle. If you're trying to solve it just like that, then you can actually enter down to this hole, which actually leads you to this secret door. Contains the bunch of goodies, like the golden box contains a new trophy type, like the Lakitus and Spinies, which are usually an 8-bit rendition, which I believe that's actually heavily based off of from Super Mario Bros. The original. So, as well as some the Maximum Tomatoes, which just comes in really handy because we don't want to accidentally just lose a whole bunch of teammates, even for a whole bunch of characters and stuff. So we just have to be very cautious with this. So the only elevator we need to hop onto is the one on the far left, because that way it will actually take you into the true section, which in this case is the continuation of the area. So, oh, you got this very big, bigger variation of these little those stuff where you can actually just manage to use those wisely. So yeah. Very similar to how it does in the previous version of the Wildstone Harvest, that where we actually get into the certain points of this level though, is that we might actually go ahead and come towards this little gust of wind. But even then though, it's almost very identical to the ones in previously, so... But except the noticeable difference was though, is that we're not going to be playing as the, one of the three swordsmen, which was, you know, Marvin, Ike, and Meta Knight. But except that we are going to be playing as, Link, Kirby, Pit, Yoshi, and even, Mario, I'm presuming. I think we already mentioned Mario. Hang on, let's try this again. Mario, Pit, Link, Kirby, and Yoshi. That's better. So, anyway. Yeah, apologize for the lack of dialogue or anything like that, folks. It's just basically there's not much else to talk. Unless that besides the point when we actually get into the, some other, oh, okay. The grip decided to actually leave. Okay, then. I thought it was like, I don't know. Anyway. So, for the most part though, it's not that bad, even though you're gonna have to dodge a lot of spiked walls, which that seems mainly the case, because even then though, it does always kind of reminds me, almost related to the Sonic and the Black Knight vibe. The one level which is actually called Melton Mine, which was actually incorporated the lava themes level when you're actually going to be dealing with the Reach the Goal segment. So, from here, this is the point where we actually did dreaded the original playthrough the most, because back in 2012, we got so mad on that. There's this final part of the level that you have to deal with a bunch of the roaders. And every time when you get hit by this surprise attack, like surprise, mother, I can't pronounce that, strong language there, I really don't want to say that. Yeah, this is the part I was talking about. As soon as you think you're almost nearly the end of a level, the next thing you know, you get a surprise attack on the roader. So yeah, good thing we managed to actually done this for the first try, the first time around. And of course, there's yet another subspace hole there, so this means that grand total of 2 at the moment in this episode. So anyways, we got mates yet again, Lakitu and Spinies, Panther Kuroso from Star Fox Assault, and some 2 stickers, Link's Grandma from The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, and the Hyrule Shield, which we already got. So 40% on that particular subspace emissary mode so far, so I think we're doing not too shabby there. Even though, I have to say though, that this run-through is actually getting a hell of a lot more better than last time was, back in June 2012, as I mentioned earlier. Because, you know, that we usually kept on going overreacting on certain mistakes and stuff, so... Anyway, the next level we're about to be running into is the swamp level, so... Even though, it's about time to actually go back into playing as both Diddy Kong and Fox yet again, since the lake levels, even though that this is usually, I believe this level's numbered coded, it was actually level 18, so even though that this level's almost exactly feels a bit somewhat similar to the jungle, or it's like a combination of the jungle and especially the lake at the same time. Well, for one thing is that the aesthetics looks like very identical. Oh, we have another trophy, which is hidden from down here. Which I'm assuming that's actually Baby Mario, so... Which is, you know, first appearance from, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, so... Pretty interesting, I have to say. So anyway though, but even then though, we still haven't got the original Yoshi's Island yet. We still need to actually try to get it somehow. Even from the Super Nintendo version or the Game Boy Advance version. Gradually though, we almost completely got all of the Super Mario Advance Saga Sonics. Even then though, that we're pretty sure we can actually get ourselves a GBA version of Yoshi's Island. So even if possibly the Super Nintendo version, once that was going to re-release at some point. Well, I don't know about the Wii U version now, because I think the Wii U console is now currently dead at the moment. Well, as far as progressioning so far, so because of that, you know, that as we already mentioned this before, that Nintendo Switch has been recently released a couple of days ago. So because of that though, this was still in March though, so I digress though. So a few things we want to mention about such things is that, well, obviously today was actually the 9th of March, and because of that though, tomorrow, after this video is about to be released, the Mario Sports Superstars on Nintendo 3DS were about to come out until tomorrow, which, even though we already pre-ordered the game, so every time we actually pre-order the game, or even buy the game actually, you do come with just only one amiibo card included, so... Even if what I've noticed is that these amiibo cards do look exactly similar to how it does it for these amiibo cards for Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, except it's Mario themed, so you clearly knows the difference. So anyway, so as far as the swamp level is concerned, this was probably, at the current standpoint, this is probably the longest level in the game so far. Not as long as it's like how it does it for the Lake Shore, but even then, much like how it does it in the Lake Shore, sometimes we're gonna have to end it up in these different segments throughout. So I'm pretty sure that there's gonna be a whole of a lot more segments this time, unlike how it does it for the Lake Shore, that usually gets like 5 different segments or something like that. Or possibly 4 actually, because 2 of them you're actually going to be doing with the battle, and then the other from the outside part of the lake shore, and the final part is easily the cavern part. So, and here we got ourselves yet another new trophy we actually obtained from. Because of that though, another secret door was over there. Oh yeah, if you couldn't tell already, is that if you actually go towards this little rapid waterfall current, is that it depends on if what direction does the waterfall is aiming at. If it goes like up, this means it will actually get ourselves some momentum in midair, so you can actually just get hover for in midair. So if it points down, this means it will actually drag you down. So even though you clearly knows the difference between which direction or which momentum do you have to actually focus on. So dang Hammer Bros. Anyways, before we actually get to the next door, which I believe this might actually lead us to the next cutscene, there's gonna be any secrets around here? I'm pretty sure it's not, so good thing is that, oh goodness, that bullet bill almost gonna kill us though. vocal. Oh goodness, we're actually gonna be fighting ourselves the something more likely related to Godzilla version of Diddy Kong, because I say Godzilla version of Diddy Kong because somehow that Bowser managed to actually just temporarily transform Diddy Kong into a trophy accidentally, or even just on purpose for a trophy collectathon. And the next thing you know is that much like how it does it for Zelda and Peach, is that they he managed to let the Shadow Bugs actually transform him into an evil version of himself. And basically, this will actually lead us to probably the most annoying part of the fight on this stage, is the fact that you're gonna have to actually knock him out. The catch is though, is that taking a note from Giga Bowser from Super Smash Bros. Melee, for example, in order to actually knock him out completely, you must be sure you need to actually let yourself, his percentage bar can actually go a little bit more higher, up to either 400% or even 500% or more. So even then, it's a kind of more likely, while at the same time it's completely luck-based sometimes, but even then, that's mainly just the fact that we haven't got ourselves a powerful character, most likely Donkey Kong, because Donkey Kong got kidnapped. So, but even then, we only got a few parts to go, so I have no idea why we kept on spamming the fans right there. But even then though, I probably consider the fact that the fan itself is completely OP'd in this game, unlike how it does in Melee's was, to me though. So anyways, all you have to do is pretty simple, just get out to like, you know, just try and knock him off into the stage, obviously. So either from the east side, or even just, you know, just do that. So it might be a little bit, take a while to actually knock him out though. And similar to the likes how he does it for Fox, though, he just somehow dragged Falco for his business. So, yeah, it always makes me giggles every time when I watch that specific cutscenes. So, yeah, let's go ahead and select Falco for this final section of the swamp levels. That he's essentially the returning character from Super Smash Bros. Melee, and he behaves exactly like how he does in Super Smash Bros. Melee. In fact, he's essentially the Fox clone, essentially. But even though, just like how it does in Super Smash Bros. Melee, though, he's essentially the unlockable character. In order to actually unlock him, though, it's by basically going through, much like how it does in Super Smash Bros. Melee, you must able to complete 100-man Brawl for the very first time, or even play 50 Brawl matches, or even finally, that you can actually complete the Swamp level, aka stage number 18. So, as far as his moveset is concerned, it feels exactly identical to the Fox's moveset. He can still perform the Blaster while simply pressing the B button. The side special attacker performs the Falco Phantasm, which as I believe is more likely equivalent to you know, this Fox Reflector. And also the up special attacker performs a Firebird. And finally, the down special attacker performs a Reflector. However, the biggest difference between the Melee counterpart from Falco than the likes of this version of Falco, and especially Smash 4 version, which we'll get into that soon again, during sometime in September, which we only got halfway through for that point, so. But basically, you know the Reflector in Super Smash Bros. Melee for Falco that is usually stated just inside him? This time, however, you can actually just manage to knock it, just manage to use it to shoot it from a straight line. So, yeah, that's the only noticeable difference between the Melee version of Falco than the likes of the Brawl version of Falco, as a matter of fact. So, right off the get-go, another stock life. So even though that we can actually just compensate from this. And yeah, this part feels almost exactly similar to how it does it for, you know, the Ruin series, that you get out to jump over for these little, tallest, spike stacks, even though there's nothing we can do in above from it, because the game tells me we need to go down. Before we actually continue, another red door contains, well, secrecy stuff, obviously. which contains, well, obviously a heart container to actually completely restore our health for 0%, and also another goodie like a trophy, and another trophy as a matter of fact. So that was like a few trophies in a row so far, so yeah. I'm hoping we don't get too many duplicates of those trophies, honestly, because even then though we already got those like plethora of times, mainly due to the mites enemies from earlier ago. So anyway though, so if you couldn't tell already, for this background music of this final section of the swamp level, this is actually heavily borrowed from Yoshi's Island because of the, the rhythm that is usually based off it from, and also the, even though the, oh yeah, this bit is exactly similar to the ruined series that you're gonna have to jump over for this little spiky, stack right there, so even then though you're gonna have to use the spring in order to actually just, jump higher enough. And predictably, this might be the final part of the level, because, there's gonna be... Oh, goodness gracious, I totally forgot about these objects here, or in this case, these obstacles we need to absolutely dodge. And also, these are incoming enemies, like, for instance, these bullet bills that are trying to overly disobey you. And also, that's, as usual, enemy endurance run. So, even then, though, much like how it does in the cave level, is that we haven't got into these Mario enemies since on that previous level, which was the cave level, because Bowser was actually in that cutscene, so... Yeah, that's all I could describe from this, so... As well as, for the likes of the first section of, the swamp level, so... That's all there is to say. Okay, so for this part is that we need to actually, you're gonna have to pay attention to what these little water effects is about to affect, because if you couldn't tell, they're actually trying to pop up some little spiral thorns, which can actually try to devastate it for you. So yeah, that's all there is to say. Oh goodness. But even then though, we managed to make that simply safe and sound, so... I don't know if there's anything down there though, but I'm pretty sure it's basically more likely just... If you somehow fall off to this level, then it'll actually just, I can't remember what I could describe about this actually, so, yeah, there's no secret around here, so I guess this might be the end of the level, so... But before we do that, however, let's take down this giant Goomba first, and let's enter this yellow door, and eventually we'll end off the swamp level. To me, this island right over there, it almost kind of reminds me of like Angel Island for some reason. I don't know why, because it almost feels exactly identical. But anyways, trophies wise, we got Baby Mario, Slippy Toad, another Goopy Bomb, Candy Kong, and Pico. Pico, somewhat similar name as it does it for the this little early children's Sega console, which was Sega Pico. But anyways, enough about that sort of nonsense. Stably for a Japanese exclusive title from, I'm presuming Game Boy Advance or DS, from Legend of Starfy 3, Tetra from The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, and Rob from, I'm presuming Mario Kart DS, I would imagine. So, anyway, so without further ado, and we actually got ourselves 43%, not half bad. So anyway, so we'll start to end things off here. So join us next time on Let's Play Super Smash Bros. Brawl Subspace Emissary Mode. Is the fact that we're moving on into the Research Facility Part 2, because why not? So anyway, see you guys next time. Later fellas, see you guys then.